NBA is home to some of the world's most talented athletes. They are known for their skills, agility, and ability to soar above the rim. They made millions of dollars by playing on the court.
LeBron James, another one! Yes, sir!
That's rich, right? Oh, but wait. What if you see your LeBron James or Kobe Bryant did another job other than basketball? You're not hearing wrong. Because this is the top 10 weirdest jobs an NBA star had before getting famous. We start with number 1, which is your favorite, Dwayne Wade. Even the rich and famous had jobs as kids, whether it was scooping ice cream like former President Barack Obama or working at McDonald's like Jeff Bezos. NBA star Dwayne Wade is no different. Wade recently revealed one of his first summer jobs to CNBC. Make it.
One of my jobs in high school, I was a porter for like a Bob Watson car company. I would be the guy that when someone come and they come and buy a car, I had to wash them up, had to get them nice for them.
His job, he explains, included carefully parking cars into tiny parking spaces, not always an easy feat. Maybe if you are a car dealership, you may get into NBA one day. For the next one, we have Yao Ming. What? Yao Ming has a job? What kind of job can a 7'6" center do? Yao Ming. Take a guess, guys. I bet you can't because he was a documentarian and elephant savior. Yes, you hear it right. Documentarian and elephant savior. Yao Ming is enormous, so anything he does outside of playing basketball is automatically interesting. That's why his post-NBA ventures, outside of being the most famous and recognizable Chinese man, always seem so intriguing. Well, there's that. And the fact that what he does is legitimately thrilling. Most notably, Yao took a journey to Africa to put together a documentary about the plight of African rhinos and elephants. He even kept a blog along the way, so you can see exactly what he was up to on a day-to-day basis. Yao's The End of the Wild is not only a fascinating watch, but it's also got the coolest trailer in the history of documentaries. Otherwise, Yao spent his time as an embattled conversationist, doing everything he can to curb poaching wherever he is needed. That's weird, right? But I bet you're not ready for the next one. Shawn Bradley. Have you heard any basketball player used to be a cowboy? I think you should remember his name. He used to be a cowboy. Yes, you hear it right. No other than the one himself, Mr. Shawn Bradley. Yeehaw! Like we talked about with Yao Ming, tall dudes doing anything is interesting. What could be more interesting than 7'6" Shawn Bradley riding a horse? Bradley is the proud owner of a Utah ranch, where he owns 350 cattle. He talked about the poor horse that has to tote him around with deep appreciation. Bless the horse's heart. The biggest challenge is finding a saddle that'll fit, and I had a guy help me make a saddle. So we've got a saddle, and a 16-hand horse is the smallest I can even consider. I'm not sure if there's a reality show around that would have any sort of reason for this, but I would love to see Bradley wearing a cowboy hat and riding a horse for any reason whatsoever. Otherwise, Bradley has run for a seat in the Utah House of Representatives and is chairman of the board for a local boarding school. That's a bit wild, right? But let's pack up your seatbelts, guys, because we are going somewhere else, like a court? Yes, we will have 2 mayors for the next one, which is Kevin Johnson and Dave Bing. When you see a former player after a former player ends up broke, in jail, or just disappears to do nothing productive ever again, it's nice to see a few guys do their best to give back to their community. Kevin Johnson and Dave Bing have done their share to give back to the cities they played in, both running for and winning mayoral elections in their respective cities. Bing is in his 2nd term as mayor of Detroit, while Johnson continues to do everything in his power to keep the Sacramento Kings in town. Imagine, 2 of the legends themselves was a mayor. I won't know what will happen. Another big man himself on the list, Mr. Shaq. I think he deserves a big spot on this list himself. Shaq, the Big Diesel, is a man with many talents and will presumably have no problems in lining up a second career once his time playing basketball is over. It's no secret, the big man is very charismatic. During his younger years, he was featured on the big screen, acting in Hollywood movies, Blue Chips, and Kazam. Also, there was a time this man was Beyoncé's impersonator. That's him doing Beyonce. He's big, personable, and hilarious. If you stuck him on a stage with a microphone, he could probably make a living as a stand-up comedian. What's there not to like about a 7-inch genie? Next one, we have the legend himself, Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain. His job before going pro, carrying luggage as a bellhop at a country club. Wait.
What?
Yes, you heard it right. The summer of 1954 was a special one for the future NBA legend. He accepted a job at the Kutcher's Hotel and Country Club in the Catskill Mountains and made $2 an hour, plus tips, to lug things around for visitors. But at night, he also played on the Kutcher's basketball team, which was coached by a guy named Red Auerbach. Yes, the Red Auerbach, who went on to lead the Boston Celtics to storied success a short time later. It was such a strange set of circumstances that ESPN created an entire 30 for 30 short about that summer called Wilt Chamberlain, Borscht Belt Bellhop last year. Larry Bird. Bet every one of us used to eat a hamburger once in our lives, right? But what if that burger was made by Larry Bird? Before becoming one of the most successful players in the NBA history, Larry Bird had a variety of jobs. Growing up in French Lick, Indiana, he worked as a janitor at his high school while still playing basketball and attending classes. After graduating from high school, Bird took an apprenticeship to become an electrician, but eventually decided that was not the career path for him. So he joined the military reserves instead. While serving with the U.S. Army Reserve Corps, Bird held several odd jobs, including working as a cook at a burger chef restaurant and washing dishes in local restaurants around town, before finally taking on coaching duties for his former team's summer league games back home after being discharged from service. It is safe to say that Larry Bird's hard work paid off, since today we know him best for being one of basketball's greatest players ever. Thank God you're not a burger chef, Larry. Now we jump to the mid-range shooting king, KD. Before becoming a basketball millionaire, he worked hard to make ends meet for himself and his family. He started off working odd jobs such as mowing lawns, washing cars, and delivering newspapers when he was just 12 years old. He also sold candy at school to help out with the household expenses while attending college at the University of Texas, Austin, on an athletic basketball scholarship. Durant's hard work paid off when he entered into professional sports after being drafted by the Seattle Supersonics in the 2007 NBA draft. During this period, Kevin had already established himself as one of the best players in college basketball, which made him a prime target for many teams looking to add young talent to their rosters. However, it wasn't until 2009 that Kevin made his first $1 million contract with the Oklahoma City Thunder, which allowed him to take care of his family financially more comfortably than ever before. Good job, KD. Always a fan of yours. Another big man, but this time he might be the greatest in our generation. Giannis. Before becoming a multi-millionaire basketball star, however, Giannis had to work hard to make ends meet. He grew up in Greece as an undocumented immigrant with his parents and 4 brothers. His family struggled financially and they often relied on odd jobs just to get by each day. When he was 16 years old, Giannis started working at a local clothing store selling clothes for extra money before school every day, while still vendors selling items such as watches or sunglasses at traffic lights around Athens during weekends, when there were no games scheduled for him to play in his team's league matches. In addition, he would help out friends who owned small businesses, like helping them move furniture or unload trucks from time to time. Giannis' determination eventually paid off when he was drafted into the NBA straight out of high school at 18 years old, making him one of only 3 Greek players ever selected into this prestigious league. You are on the right path to being the greatest, Giannis. We saved the best for last. No other than LeBron James, the legend himself, still playing in the league. LeBron James. Before becoming a basketball superstar, LeBron James was just an ordinary kid from Akron, Ohio. At the age of 18, he became one of the most sought-after prospects in NBA history, and would go on to become one of the greatest players ever. But before all that fame and fortune came his way, he had to make a living like everyone else. For LeBron James, this meant working hard for minimum wage jobs at local stores such as Burger King, or doing odd jobs around town like cutting grass or shoveling snow for extra money. James also found success outside of work by playing basketball in high school, where he quickly rose through the ranks thanks to his immense talent and dedication to improving himself as an athlete. He made it onto national television during high school, when ESPN aired a documentary about him entitled More Than a Game, which showcased how much potential LeBron had even back then, despite not having any real income coming in yet from professional sports contracts or endorsement deals. There are many more below, with many legends like Kobe Bryant as a clown party, and also Steve Nash. But after their first work, they all find basketball as their passion and spend their whole life into it. Even though every star in the list has become a millionaire, they will never forget the first job that they did for a living. If you like the video, hit the like and subscribe button below, and comment down below the topics that you want to hear about next.